Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Really delighted to have Super Julie Braun here on the program. She is awesome. She's a regular on the program. Her company, Super Interns, I've been a client of them now for quite a while, and I love what you guys do. You've made interns. You know what? Everyone has these pipe dreams, especially newer businesses, about all they'll be able to do with interns. And the reality is that unless you know what you're doing with interns, it's probably not going to pan out very well. You're going to be frustrated, and you probably will never use them again. The vast majority of intern programs have seen do not work, and the reason why is they don't have someone like Super Julie in their corner who makes the program realistic and quantifiable, focused, systematic. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. You do a great job.
Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. Yeah,
yes.
we do try to help companies grow by utilizing interns, and in particular, startups really need to use interns, but, like a lot of things, they just don't know where to begin, what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, I alluded to startups because that's part of our topic today, why startups need virtual interns. And I would go further. You're not saying this, but I'll say this, why they need interns who are managed and operated in a way that Super Interns does. Because, frankly, startups have enough on their hands without trying to create the infrastructure for an effective intern program. Why invent that when Super Interns already has?
Well, thank you.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
We agree. But I think, here's the thing that startups do, and I live in Seattle, Washington, so I see people all over town. They're called buskers. And these people, what they do, there's a guy who stands on my street corner. He's really hilarious. He stands on a ball, and then he has cymbals between his knees. He plays a squeeze box, a harmonica. He balances a bowling pin on his head, and if you can imagine, he hula hoops all at the same time. Well, when I see this guy, I always think, that's a startup. It's really hilarious to look at it from the outside, but it's not so great when you're the guy doing it. And startups are always trying to do everything by themselves. Huge mistake, because there are 6 things that either they're going to fail or succeed. So there's 6 key elements that every startup, if they don't do these things right and they fail at them, then they're going to fail at their company. And all 6 can be helped with having interns.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk a little bit about the, where a startup should begin, in terms of what type of interns they should be hiring. I guess a lot of it has to do with what their vertical they operate in, I guess.
Well, I think that's one way of looking at it, but another way of looking at it is we all need to do certain things. So we all need to have a website. Every single one of us has to have a website. If we don't have a website, then we will never be taken seriously. Mm-hmm. So interns can work on and create, and, for my own company, I practice what I teach. I've got a team of amazing web design wizards. They're all interns. They maintain, they create. They've done our website for the last 5 years. They've handled it.
Yeah,
so that's one place to start.
It's interesting about interns, especially most of them are young, not all of them. I've had interns who have kids. I have, and so the age range, is kind of vast, to be honest with you. But the vast majority of them are young. Many of them have been building websites before they left elementary school. So when you come and ask them to do it, it's like, oh yeah, that's no big deal. It's incredible.
It's very true. And same thing goes for social media. We all have to be on social media. It is the way of doing business. If you are not on Facebook or LinkedIn, if you have not identified the place or the places that you have a voice, if you're not, on Twitter, then your business is going to suffer. It's going to make you look very old and crotchety. So you want to have a team of social media specialists who really work on different strategies. I mean, you have an amazing team of social media specialists, Kevin.
I do, and they do
awesome.
an incredible job. Our numbers have grown in certain social media categories almost at an exponential rate. I mean, it's just incredible. They've done stuff that actual firms that want to charge large amounts of money for it won't even guarantee. So it's amazing.
It is. And then if you think about it, if you hadn't had the interns and if you didn't hire a big company and spend a lot of money to do that, who would have done it for you? Would you have done it?
No, it wouldn't have happened. So, or I would have broke down and hired one of those teams and cried every month when it was time to write another check.
Yeah, so it is a huge benefit, really, when we think of all the talents that interns can bring to our company. The other thing is, looking at it from the intern side, they need an internship. I mean, people come to us in droves. They could be a stay-at-home mom. Maybe they've been out of work for 5 years because they've been taking care of the kids. And now they're saying, oh, my goodness, I have nothing fresh on my resume. What am I going to do? Well, if they get an internship, it'll take them out of the unemployment line, and it will put them into the business world. And so we know that interns need internships, and whether they're with you for 6 months or in many cases, if our interns love us, they will stay with us for much longer than that. We get the benefits, and so do they. They get your mentorship and all of those kinds of wonderful things.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. I've had now a few of my interns stay for extended stays, and they were always welcome, and I was really glad to see them do it. And it's just an awesome program. And and as a result, I feel very invested in my interns. I've been delighted to be able to write letters and make phone calls on behalf and receive phone calls on behalf of those interns to get their next job. And that's the thing that's so exciting is to see their level of employability afterward.
You know what, Kevin? It is astonishing when it comes full circle. About 25 years ago, I had an intern. And this is when I was back in corporate America. And this kid was really smart. He kept getting promoted. And when I would get a new job across the country, I'd end up moving him, across the country to work with our team. And over the course of time, he decided, okay, I'm ready to start my own business. Well, he started his own business. And about 5 years ago, I got a phone call from him. And he said, I have a $50 million business. And now we need interns. So he ended up hiring us, and what was so cool is that he became my boss.
That is awesome. I hope you treated him well as an intern.
Oh, well, definitely. I mean, I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have moved across country if I hadn't. But it was really hilarious. We were rolling when I was like, "Oh crap! Now I have to get my act together."
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Hey, we got to wrap it up. We got only a few seconds left. Time always goes fast whenever I'm talking to Super Julie. Real quickly, final thoughts before I let you go. And by the way, make sure you, the listener, check out superinterns.com. Final thoughts.
It's just been such a pleasure working with you and your team. You're really awesome, Kevin, and thank you so much for the privilege.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm really grateful for what you guys do, and I hope I'm kind of a walking billboard for you guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.